end up to. I want to teach you some basic things. One is to be able to link the group energy together while still retaining your own seal on your fields, of course. Then creating a seal around the group so nothing can mess with the group energies. So you're protecting individuals and the collective, because once you unite your energies together, you create another living, breathing organism in a higher dimensional form. The group becomes an entity that's composed of the individuation of each of its parts, but it becomes a sentient identity all on its own, and every group of people you're with qualifies as that. But a group that becomes an entity for the purposes of directed energy healing work are a very, very powerful force. If you can learn, at least tonight, simple techniques of getting a group of people together, sitting them down, telling them some basic things to do with their energy fields, and showing them how to focus that energy then into a center point. And I'm not going to have that be me either. It's better if it's an object. Okay, once you can focus it, take the group energy, get it harmonized together, and then bring it into a focal point, you have now at your disposal a pool of very strong energy, particularly if you have people with their field sealed to the 12th dimensional level, which means they're running at least some subharmonics of D12 frequency, which is one of the highest frequencies that can run through the human body. You bring down the pillar to get that high frequency in. You link it to a group, bringing in the group pillar, which is the Shaddai it's called, the first cause light, pillar of first cause light. That is an extremely powerful force of energy. You're using the energy of the heavens and the higher parts of identity of the collective, the Christos energy from dimensions 12, 11, and 10, and you're combining them with the earth grid energies, letting your system be the bioenergetic circuit that allows those things to run, and then you take that energy and focus it. And whatever you point it at, you're going to have one heck of scalar wave power behind it. All right, so if you want to work on things in your personal lives, it's worthwhile in your community to feel out and find some friends that are interested in energy work and teach them about sealing their fields. Teach them how to protect themselves first, because if they're working energy work and they're not sealing their fields, who knows what they picked up? You know, it's the energy workers that don't know how to seal their fields that are really picking up some nasty stuff, and they're transmitting it to others because they just don't realize it happened. Teach them how to seal their fields, simple technique, you know, through Maharic seal technique. Then, simply sit them down in a group of them, say, let's play some energy work games. And what we're going to do tonight is a game, but it's a very serious game. I'd asked you before to pick 3 things that you would like to work on. And you don't have to write them down unless you need to for yourself. And I don't want to know them because it's not my business. It's between you and yourself and your higher parts. There's a conflict. Some conflict. It can be at work, at home, with children, with relatives, whatever, that you want to resolve. And make it specific. Not just general world healing. I'm tripping over words there. World healing or peace. Not just general. We want it specific here. Like my relationship with Uncle John needs help, you know? Let's heal this conflict. Take them one at a time at first. Then later you get into big things to heal. Healing is harmonizing of vibrational patterns. If you're in conflict with somebody, you are in vibrational disharmonic with them. Your consciousness and theirs are not vibrating in a harmonious pattern. You can change that, particularly when you put group energy behind it. What we're going to do tonight, I want to walk you through so you can walk other groups through, those of you who are inclined to try to perpetuate this work. You will have a benefit that every time you work with a group, so if you decide you're going to assemble a group, it's worth it because you can't do group energy work with the extra kick without a group. So that's the motivation to get a group together to do it, is saying, well, we'll all benefit from this, including me. You know, I know my energy work and I can do it myself, but I'm going to get a lot more power behind it if I'm working with a group. So it's worthwhile teaching some other people how to do this. You're helping them, they're helping you, that kind of thing. But we're going to take tonight simple conflict, a simple part of the body, whatever part you first want fixed. And again, don't just say the whole body. We all like our whole bodies fixed just like that, you know. Just transmute them into, like, you know, gorgeous angel figures if while you're at it, if we're going to fix them all like that. It doesn't work that fast. But one body part, one conflict, and one thing, and make it an object, because objects are easier at first than and like trying to say, I want to manifest money, you'll find yourself with money you can't use, you'll find yourself with money tied up in the States, you'll find yourself with money, but you're still looking at money as the object. You got the object, but can't use it. Because what you're really looking for is the power to do or to have something. Focus on what you want to have. If it's a house you want, focus on a house. Imagine that house. The perfect house for me, whatever that may be. And you can be specific even. You know, a blue house with black shutters or whatever. Yeah. Take those three things, and each person, we're going to unite the field of the group, and then we're going to transmit into a central object. And I have a crystal, I believe, for this purpose. I put my purse in there. Could you get that for me, please?
Does the person have to be alive?
No.
Somebody who's already dead.
Yeah. In fact, you can use, this is one of the applications of group work. This is really awesome. You can use it for many, many things. One thing is to locate missing persons or find information on where they might be. You can put together a group specifically for that. You can put together a group specifically for if there's anybody who has relatives or whatever that passed over, that those relatives might want to communicate, and it's in the best interest of all souls involved that that happens. The group energy can make your own signal strong enough where they can possibly reach you. You can do a literal group where you can make interdimensional contact once you know how to seal your fields. If I repeat myself with that, it's because it needs to be repeated. You need to understand before you go interdimensional, hyperdimensional, you have to seal your fields, or you'll have astral warfare going on and you won't even know what hit you. You know? Okay, so you can use it for a lot of things. Right now, we're going to do just simply basic focusing the group energy and picking those three areas to direct it through. We're going to direct it through the heart chakra, which takes it into the astral field, the fourth dimensional energy field. So we're going to transmit patterns to be set into the fourth dimensional field. I'm not finding the crystal I wanted, but it doesn't really matter. It can be a person, or it can be like whatever object you held. And yeah, does anybody have a crystal? Whatever's closest. Yeah, whatever's closest, because it's not that necessary. I have a bunch of them that I didn't bring with me because didn't know we were going to a little bit first. And when it's like, you know, breathe and then exhale and inhale and do this, I'll try not to have you hold your breath till you turn blue. We're going to draw energy up from the Earth's Maharic shield, from the Earth core. And once that shield is activated, which we did by activating our own pillar, brings temporarily the planetary 12th dimensional grid into active frequency transmission. We're going to put our consciousness down there, draw energy up in a silver cord, up in through our body. For those who have had Kathara healing, have taken that up into the Kathara grid in the body, but if you don't know where that is, that's okay. Just have it coming up the middle. Have it stretch out through the sun. There's a blue dot. Imagine a blue dot at the center of the sun, which is a symbolism that takes you way beyond the sun as we think of it here. It takes you into what's called the monadic imprint of your own identity, which is a level beyond ascended mastery of expansion into source that you will reach after you ascend through 15 dimensions and 3 levels of the energy matrix. You will go into the monadic, the full monadic imprint. It's like your cosmic family of consciousness. So you're going to link your energy to the earth core, all the way up through you, and all the way up through the blue speck at the center of the sun that symbolizes your cosmic family of consciousness. And some of us have the same one, some of us have a little bit different one, depending on where we originally came out of. But that blue dot in the center of the sun, imagery, will symbolize linking with that. So you're linking your own Maharic seal and your own Maharic shield into that energy. You're making a closed circuit of energy between the divine and grounding it in the earth. Once we do this, we have expanded frequency running through us. What we are going to do then is put our attention at the heart chakra, chakra 4, and we're going to focus some of that energy simply by breathing. We're going to inhale energy up from the earth core, expand it into the heart chakra about 3 times till you build a ball of energy there. And then you're going to find a focus object, which would be placed at the center. Now we have a pool of little crystals and things here. And at this point I've already, whenever people put crystals and things there, you can put a shield on them, that anything that belongs to them that's in that crystal stays there, and it doesn't get put into the group field. So they have been Maharically sealed too, and when you get them back, they'll be no different than when you had them before. We're not clearing them for you. It's not our business to interfere with whatever's in your crystals. but we're just blocking anything from coming out of them to affect anybody else. But the crystals are good because they refract energy in a way. They refract scalar waves in a way that amplifies them much more than other substances will. So once we get the energy coming up into the heart chakra, we're going to do a horizontal line coming out again, but it's going to come down for the people sitting. It's going to come down in a diagonal from the people here. It's just going to come out like spokes of a wheel. There's the center of the wheel. And out of each of your heart chakras, you're going to make a spoke of energy that comes out. You're not depleting your energy fields because you already have an open conduit between the earth and your monadic imprint, which is perpetual supply. So as long as you have that opened, you're not taking your own astral energy and draining yourself. Okay? You need to remember little things like that. When you do group work, remember that if you don't want to drain your fields, you need to connect to that blue dot in the center of the sun thing, because that's going to give you open conduit of energy, and you need to ground it in the earth. Little things like that are specific energy dynamics when they translate into what's happening with the energy fields. So they're worth noting. All right, you want open energy conduit so you don't drain your fields. You will use your breath. The breath is the push-pull. That's the thrust and the energy mover. So you will draw energy from both places, up and down, meet them in the center, and begin expanding them. We'll go through this in a minute, but I just want to explain it to you first. Once we expand them, and you can start to feel some energy building around the heart center inside, then inhale and push it out through that spoke into the center. And it could just be a point on the floor that you all imagine the center of the circle, if you're for lack of an object or something, and you want to do it fast if you're in a, rekeying a location. This is a tactic that's also used to recode planetary grids. All right, you can begin to recode planetary grids, house clearings, area clearings, all of this kind of thing. The first thing that needs to be done in any kind of clearing is resetting the 12th dimensional pattern. That's the Christic pattern. That's the frequency of the pre-matter substance that hasn't been distorted yet. So that's what you want to reset. And our Maharic shields are doing that. So just by having your Maharic seal open, you are running those 12 codes to begin the recoding process. So you're going to focus the energy into the center point. There's a lot of things you can do once you do that. You have a pool of energy. You can imagine it like a vessel, that center point, that's collecting energy from the group. And every time you breathe, every time every member of the group breathes, and you'll all breathe at your own rate. We're not going to worry about synchronizing the breaths of the group and the whole bit. You start with Tantra, with couples with that, and then work your way up. It takes a while to do. But simply breathe up and down at the same time, out, project. It doesn't have to be labored. Just every breath you take, imagine it being pulling from top and bottom and throwing out the heart chakra on the exhale. The group, simply by breathing, feeds energy into that center point. And there can come a time when whoever's running the group will simply say, okay, it's time to draw now. The group has charged that center point of energy. It's made a sphere of energy. Each group member, because it already has what we call key codes, codes of frequency. You helped create that sphere, so you have access to it. Something that wasn't part of that group, unless it was given the specific frequencies of each member of the group, would not be able to access that energy field. So you're creating a closed circuit of energy reserve to draw energy from for the group to use. You can use it, and it's good to do it physically first. You can later use that as a group remote, where you can draw that energy remote for all sorts of purposes. Once it's time to draw back, each one of you is simply asked to think of the 3 things that you want resolution on. And you can get very specific with this as you go on, and your own higher self will guide you on how to do that. But turning complicated things into symbols is one of the fastest ways to fix them with energy. You have your conflict, your body area, and the thing you want to manifest. In your mind, put those in a triangle with 3 points. Whatever priority is whatever. Whichever one's most important, put it at top, the other 2 under it. Simply imagine it as a triangle and color it green, which is the fourth dimensional capstone color. You're going to access it on D4. Then you're going to simply, as you were before, going transmitting energy in. Just take a clearing breath for a minute, and then begin to do the opposite. And send it back out on the exhale. Okay? It's not too hard to remember, and your own self really knows how to do this inside. It's just a matter of remembering. Because once upon a time, this was a natural way. The consciousness in the body just knew how to breathe for manifesting, how to breathe for healing, how to make certain energy run which ways.